Episode 8 of Love Island USA is wrapped. Let's have a recap. So we're still going down this Amaya and Ace route. They argued the episode before, and as they're about to go to sleep, Ace hugs Shelly, and then he gets into bed, and Amaya's like, "Are you gonna say goodnight? Are you gonna hug me?" He's like, "No." So just off vibes from that. The next morning, he wants to set up a date for Shelly, like a yoga date, but that kind of collapses because Amaya he tells Shelly to go get ready, and Amaya starts talking to Shelly in the dressing room in front of all the girls, and it's like, "Were you being a genuine friend to me?" And they're like arguing. It's like misplaced anger. Like she knows Shelly was still open and things like that, but she obviously just upset at Ace and. Ace and Amaya have a conversation on the dock. They kind of argue a little bit and basically both say, like, "I don't want to get to know you anymore." While this is all going on, Austin's still feeling a little bit like he's pulling back a little bit emotionally from the situation because he's like still annoyed at the Ace thing happening. With Huda and Jeremiah from the episode prior, Huda asked Jeremiah, like, "Are you still getting to know people?" And he's like, "Well, like, are you open or whatever?" He's like, "I'm not closed." And they're kind of having this discussion, and he's like, basically saying, "I don't want to close it off yet because it's still early, but if I don't want to say fully right now because it's early, and again, if something could happen." And they kind of argue a little bit, but not really. But mid argument, Huda's like, "Do you want to shower with me tonight?" I'm like, Huda, girl, what's going on? Like, I know what you're doing, but yeah. So that's happening, and they're an interesting pair. Later in the evening, the next evening, essentially, they everyone does this game together where you have to like flip a card to either like pie someone or kiss someone after like answering them for a question. So there's some little things in there. Amaya gets upset at Taylor a little bit because he picks her for a girl who's doing the most. They sort that. Ace is kind of annoyed at Huda for picking him for like waiting for someone else to come in. Both those things kind of get squashed quickly, but Ace and Nick talk to Jeremiah around all the boys after the game, like little debrief or whatever, and they said like I feel like Huda's not that genuine, or there's kind of a little bit like some of the things she's doing are maybe calculated or whatever they kind of say. They get into Jeremiah's head a little bit, and later he's off with Huda a bit and like in front of everybody, kind of in a weird way. They go talk and they're kind of arguing a little bit. She's like, "Why are you being this way with me? You're never this way." And you're starting to see him like get a little bit pulling away. And also, even in the day when they were arguing before about who are we closed off or not, he was saying to Nick how she makes some of these comments that make me feel like I'm more of her kid than like her partner. Like, "Oh, good job," like all these kind of pats in the back, what she feels maybe like patronizing. So we'll see what happens there. Again, as I said from the very beginning, those two are either going to go really well or they're going to go really horribly. So we'll see what happens. With Ace and Shelly, they kiss in the game once, and there's like a game seemingly from the preview continuing on, like maybe the Islander set up themselves, and Austin is still kind of getting a little bit annoyed. He's like pulling out of it at this point. Like he's really just like, that's still constantly happening, and I can see how that's annoying to see to some level. And it's like, who knew that we'd be a fan of Austin all of a sudden? It's not how it's supposed to be, but good episode today.